Hi guys, welcome to the channel of love. Okay, look, I'm on my knees for you guys. Okay, we're going to carry on with this book. And we're out on the field. Okay. So I felt like the door was slammed onto me. We ended up with page 97. So let's start off where we left off. Okay, I am starting to understand the power of working on myself. Where do I start? Julian returned to his conversation with Yogi Varman high atop the mountains, on which he remembered as a remarkably starry and glorious, beautiful night. Initially, I too had trouble with the notion of self-improvement. After all, I was a tough Harvard trained legal gunslinger who had no time for new age theories forced on me by what I thought were people with bad haircuts who hung out at airports. I was wrong. It was this closed-mindedness, as we kind of slammed the door earlier, so it was this closed-mindedness that was holding my life back. Woo, a bit windy. It's a sensitive topic, isn't it? Holding my life back all those years. Calm down. The more I listened to Yogi Varman and the more I reflected on the pain and suffering of my former world, the more I welcomed the philosophy of Kaizen, constant and never-ending enrichment of the mind, body and soul into my new life, Julian asserted. Why am I hearing so much about the mind, body and soul these days? It seems I can't even turn on the tube without someone making mention of it. This is the trilogy of your human endowments. To improve your minds without the cultivation of your physical gifts would be a hollow victory. Elevating your mind and body to their highest level without nurturing your soul would leave you feeling very empty and unfulfilled. But when you dedicate your energies to unlocking the full potential of all three of your human endowments, you will taste the divine ecstasy of an enlightened life. You've got me pretty excited, pal. As to your question about where to start, I promise that I will give you a number of ancient yet powerful techniques in a few moments, but first I must share a practical illustration with you. Get into push-up position. Good grief, Julian's become a drill sergeant. I silently thought, let's just, okay, we're going off into another story here, okay. Who's up for some push-ups? Anyway, get into push-up position. Good grief, Julian's become a drill sergeant, I silently thought. Being curious and wishing to keep my cup empty, I complied. Now do as many push-ups as you can possibly do. Don't stop until you truly are certain that you cannot do any more. I struggled with the exercise, my 215-pound frame not being used so much more than walking to the nearest McDonald's with my kids or meandering through a round of golf with my law partners. The first 15 push-ups were pure agony. With the heat of that summer evening adding to my discomfort, I started to sweat profusely. However, I was determined not to show any signs of weakness and carried on until my vanity started to give way along with my arms. At 23 push-ups, I gave up. No more, Julian, this is killing me. What are you trying to do here? Are you certain that you can't do any more? I'm sure. Come on, give me a break. The only lesson I'm going to learn from this is what to do for a heart attack. Do 10 more, then you can rest, commanded Julian. You've got to be kidding. But I continued. 1, 2, 5, 8, and finally 10. I lay on the floor in total exhaustion. I went through precisely the same experience with Yogi Varman the night he shared his special fable with me, said Julian. He told me that pain was a great teacher. What could anyone possibly learn from an experience like this? I asked breathlessly. Yogi Varman, and all the sages of Savannah for that matter, believe that people grow the most when they enter the zone of the unknown. Okay, but what does that have to do with making me do all those push-ups? You told me after you had done 23 that you couldn't do any more. You told me that this was your absolute limit. Yet when I challenged you to do more, you responded with another 10 push-ups. You have more inside you, and when you reach for your resources, you received more. Yogi Raman explained a fundamental truth to me while I was his student. The only limits on your life are those that you set yourself. When you dare to get out of your circle of comfort and explore the unknown, you start to liberate your true human potential. This is the first step towards self-mastery and mastery over every other circumstance in your life. When you push beyond your limits, just as you did in this little demonstration, you unlock mental and physical reserves that you never thought you had. Fascinating, I thought. Come to think of it, I have recently read in a book that the average person uses only a minute's measure of his human capacity. I wondered what we could do if we started using the remaining reservoir of our abilities. Julian sensed he was on a roll. You practice the art of Kaizen by pushing yourself daily. Work hard to improve your mind and body, nourish your spirit. Do the things you fear. Start to live with unbridled energy and limitless enthusiasm. Watch the sunrise. Dance in a rain shower. Be the person you dream of being. Do the things you have always wanted to do, but didn't because you tricked yourself into believing that you were too young, too old, too rich, or too poor. Prepare to live a soaring, fully alive life. In the East, they say that luck favours the prepared mind. I believe that life favours the prepared mind. Julian continued his passionate discourse. Identify the things that are holding you back. Are you scared of speaking, or do you have trouble in your relationships? Do you lack a positive attitude, or do you need more energy? Make a written inventory of your weaknesses. Satisfied people are far more thoughtful than others. Take the time to reflect on what it is that might be keeping you from the life you really want and know deep down you can have. Once you have identified what your weaknesses are, the next step is to face them head on and attack your fears. If you fear public speaking, sign up to give 20 speeches. If you fear starting a new business or getting out of a dissatisfying relationship, muster every ounce of your inner resolve and do it. This might be the first taste of real freedom that you have experienced in years. Fear is nothing more than a mental monster you have created, a negative stream of consciousness. Fear is nothing more than a negative stream of consciousness? I like that. You mean all my fears are nothing more than imaginary little gremlins that have crept into my mind over the years? Exactly, John. Every time they have prevented you from taking some action, you have added fuel to their fire. But when you conquer your fears, you conquer your life. I need an example. Sure. Let's take public speaking, an activity most people fear more than death itself. When I was a litigator, I actually saw lawyers who were scared. I just want to put the word "to" in there, don't I? Okay. When I was a litigator, I actually saw lawyers who were scared of stepping into court. They would do anything, including settling their clients' otherwise worthy cases, just to avoid the pain of getting up on their feet inside a packed courtroom. I've seen them too. Do you actually think that they were born with this fear? I sure hope not. Study a baby. She has no limits. Her mind is a lush landscape of potential and possibility. Properly cultivated, it will lead her to greatness. Filled with negativity, it will lead her to mediocrity at best. What I am saying is this. No experience, whether it is public speaking or asking your boss for a raise or swimming in a sun-soaked lake or walking along the beach on a moonlit night, is inherently painful or pleasant. It is your thinking that makes it so. Interesting. A baby could be trained to view a glorious sunny day as depressing. A child could be trained to see a puppy as a vicious animal. An adult could be trained to see a drug as a pleasant vehicle for release. It's all a matter of conditioning, isn't it? Sure. The same holds true of fear. Fear is a conditioned response, a life-sucking habit that can easily consume your energy, creativity and spirit if you are not careful. When fear rears its ugly head, beat it down quickly. The best way to do this is to do the thing you fear. Understand the anatomy of fear. It is your own creation. Like any other creation, it is just as easy to tear it down as it is to erect it. Methodically seek for and then destroy every fear that has secretly slid into the fortress of your mind. This alone will give you enormous confidence, happiness, and peace of mind. Can a person's mind actually be fully fearless? I asked. Great question. The answer is an unequivocal and emphatic yes. Each and every one of the sages of Savannah was absolutely fearless. You see, it is in the way they walked. You could see it in the way they talked. You could see it when you looked deep into their eyes. And I'll tell you something else, John. What? I asked, fascinated by what I was hearing. I too am fearless. I know myself and have come to see that my natural state is one of indomitable strength and unlimited potential. It was just that I was blocked by all those years of self-neglect and unbalanced thinking. I'll tell you another thing. When you erase fear from your mind, you start to look younger and your health becomes more vibrant. Ah, the old mind-body connection, I replied, hoping to mask my ignorance. Yes, the sages of the East have known about it for over 5,000 years. Hardly new age, he said with a broad grin lighting up his radiant face. The sages shared another powerful principle with me, and I think about often. I think it will be invaluable to you as you walk the path of self-leadership and personal mastery. It has given me motivation at times when I feel like taking things easy. The philosophy can be stated succinctly. What sets highly actualized people apart from those who never live inspired lives is that they do things that less developed people don't like doing, even though they might not like doing them either. Guys, I'm going to wrap it up there because as we was going on to this new story, I can feel the energy shift. Okay, I will catch up with you later on. Okay, take care. Bye for now.